Hey everyone, welcome back to Roulette Fever. I was thinking about coming up with some sort of really safe strategies, because what I've noticed is that most of you prefer using safe strategies rather than going, spontaneously or what can I say, with risky ones. So I've come up with one after thinking a lot about it, and this time we are gonna bet with the colors and we're going to pay it with some insurance bets, okay, so that we can minimize our losses whenever we lose. And if we lose much, we're going to use a certain progression, okay. So I'm going to explain to you as we go along. So here what we are going to do is that we're going to target the black color, okay, and while doing so we are going to also place some insurance bets on two columns, okay, one on this column and one on this column with $1 on each and $2 on the black. Now the reason behind choosing these two columns are, if you see the second column, there are only four red numbers, okay, and there are those two double zero and double zero. These are gonna be our complete whack numbers. Other than that, if the ball lands on either of the two columns with black numbers, we are gonna hit the jackpot. That's gonna be our target. And on any other occasions, it's gonna be a minimum loss, okay. So that's how we are gonna progress, and we're gonna use the progression after a certain stage or after certain losses. So I'm gonna explain to you. Let's spin. Other than that, we don't need to use the progression, okay. Now, as you can understand that it's going to be a low payout kind of strategy, but it's going to be a safe one. As you saw that the ball landed on the second column, but just because it landed on a black number, we didn't face any losses. So you're going to repeat our bets, okay? So let's spin. And we don't need to follow any progression or use any progression whenever we are going to hit, partial loss. We don't need to use any progression, okay? So we are going to win $3. As you can see, whenever the ball is going to land on either of those two columns, the first and the third columns, and it's going to land on the black number, we're going to win $3, okay. So let's spin. Let's target 20 for this session, okay. I don't want to drag this video really long, and let's see. I think it's another jackpot kind of a thing. Yes, let's go. I hope you understand why I'm choosing the first and the third column here, okay. So as you can see, that ball landed on the red number, but because it was on the first column, we suffered a partial loss. In this case, only of $1. Okay, so in this way, we are minimizing our losses. Okay, mitigating our risks. So in this case, we don't need to use any progression. Not just because we are in session positive, but in any way, we don't need to use any progression. Okay, so again, let's spin it just because it was a partial loss. Okay, I think we have hit another jackpot kind of a situation. Yes, we do. So as you can understand, one or two partial losses are easy to cope with when we play with our senses, okay, rather than getting flown away with our emotions. Give it some time, okay, play with patience, and it's gonna work. Okay, it's the first column, I think, but again, it's just a partial loss and we can handle it. We don't need to use any progression aggressively. It's the third column, I think, and it's going to be again a partial loss, and again we don't need to use any progression. I always say that I'm ready to give some more time rather than losing some more money. Okay, so in this case, this is going to be a complete whack kind of a situation. As I said, those four red numbers from the second column and 0 and double zero, they are going to be our whack numbers. Okay, so in this case, what I would personally do, I would not use any progression because at the moment I'm in session positives. But for the demonstration purposes, what I'm going to say is that add 1 unit on each and every bit. So here with $2 and here on the both columns with $1. Okay. But if you prefer to play it safer, don't use any progression as long as you are in session positives. Okay. I just showed it to you. I've just shown it to you for demonstration purposes. As I said, okay, again we are gonna go back to our best bet. Okay, I always give more importance to safety rather than giving you some blockbuster results. and through which I'll get some more views. I don't do that stuff because I know that not maybe all of you, but some of you are gonna go ahead and use it on real platforms, maybe online platforms, and with your hard-earned money. And I don't want to lose. I don't want you to lose, with my strategies. So I always say that bet with minimum and take minimum risk if possible. Okay, one or two partial losses are easy to cope with when you properly manage your money. Okay, so in this case, again, you saw that the ball landed on the second column, but just because it was a black number, we got away with it. Again, the same scenario. Okay, that's how we are managing our risk, mitigating our positions. Okay, it's another jackpot kind of a situation. We wait for this kind of situations. Okay, we don't get panicked. We know the situation is under control as long as we are not going ballistic with our bet size. We are up by 9. I know it's, as I said, it's going to be a low payout strategy. It mainly focuses on protecting your fund. It's again complete loss, not a partial one. So we are going to increase our bet size. Okay. Yes, I think this is it. Let's spin. And as I said, as long as you are in session positives, you don't need to mandatorily use any progression. Okay, if you don't want to. I'm just showing it to you for demonstration purposes and nothing else. We're again back to our base bet. It's another complete loss, I think. Yes, it is. Again, we are going to use the progression. This pen. Again, the ball landed on the second column, but on the black numbers. So we got away with it. It's another jackpot, I think. Yes. We're going to be back to our base bet. There is nothing fancy in it. Okay, it's a low buy-in, low payout kind of strategy, mainly for those who prefer safety more than the lust of getting more and more through each and every round. It's a partial loss, so you are not going to increase our bet size. We're going to keep it same. Okay, it's another partial loss. Don't need to do anything. Just keep your patience and keep on believing in the system. It's going to take you to your target. Okay. It's some complete loss, I think. Yes. Now we are going to increase. But again, I'm saying that if you are in session positives and you feel that like you don't like to take that much of risk, you don't need to take it. Okay. It's another loss, as you can see. So again, this time we're going to increase 2 units, $2 here and $1 here. Okay. Let's spin. My session target and stop losses are fixed, as I mostly do. We're going to remain on the same unit size. We're not going to increase or decrease anything. It was a partial loss. It's a win. This time we're going to decrease our bet size by 1 step. Okay. Let's spin. Many of you may not find this strategy that much attractive because it's not giving you that much of quick growth. But again, as I said, that this strategy mainly focuses on keeping your bankroll safe and then think about flourishing. As I always say, first protect and then think about flourishing. Okay, so we have gotten another jackpot kind of situation. So we are going to go back down to our base bet. There is no need to take any excessive risks. It may take longer than usual, but it's fine as long as we are winning and not losing our money. Okay, great. Once again, we hit a jackpot, so we are up by 14. Let's see what happens. Okay, 00. Great. So if you play on European roulette, you will have one less whack numbers. Okay. In this case, we have the 00. But anyway, not a problem. As I always say that most of the strategies that I come up with here, you can use it both on European and American roulette. Okay, you don't need to be worried about it. Okay, we hit a jackpot. We are gonna go back down to our base bet. We are up by 16, getting closer to our target. Okay, we need just another win. Let's see if we can get that. I think it's a loss. Yes, complete loss. Okay. So those are the four wax numbers. I think it's another wax. Yes. So we are gonna increase once again. As you all know, I'm a stubborn kind of person, and sorry, not this one. Yes, and I'm not gonna stop until I either hit my target or my stop loss. So let's see what happens. Always remember that we are betting with the odds on our side, okay, in a way, because we are mitigating our risk and we are balancing also our progression properly, okay. So we have come down one step into the regression, but this time I could have easily come down to my base bet, okay, but I chose not to. But you could easily, because we are so close to our target. But anyway, here in this case, odds are on our side because we are planning it out properly. In this case, we have suffered back-to-back two losses with $2. So in this case, you can increase easily your bet size, okay? But I'm not gonna do it. As I always say, use your common sense while you play. Don't follow a rigid step progression or regression step, okay. In this case, we are gonna come back down to our base bet and we'll hope that we get another win. Okay, it's the middle column but black number, so that cancels out. It's a complete loss, I think. Yes, it is. So again, we are going to increase our bet size by 1 unit on each and every bet. Remember, we are increasing on the basis of our initial bets, okay. We are betting with $2 on the black and $1 on first and on the third column. We have reached our target. So whenever we are going to use the progression, only under one condition, when we face a complete loss, not a partial loss, okay. And whenever we are going to use the progression, we are going to increase it on the basis of the initial bet of $2 on the black number and $1 on one first and the third column, okay, on the basis of that. But again, I'm saying that as long as you are on this session positives, you don't need to use the progression irrespective of if you face partial or complete loss, okay. But the rest depends on you, how much risk appetite you have. So anyway, guys, this was the video. I hope you will like it and let me know how it works for you, okay. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna see you on the next video.